What's good, YouTube? It's your main man, ABD Hero, back again with another video. And in today's video, we are going to listen to a clip from Stephen A. Smith. And to me, in this clip, we're going to listen to him, and I'll say, expose the media for their power and how they can control the narrative of a player's career. Let's go. All right. So this is a clip of Stephen A. Smith talking about Damian Lillard. And this is after Damian Lillard just had an epic night, 34 points, 11 assists, 3 boards versus the Mavericks and in a W. And also the reason why this comes out is because folks really are high on Luka Doncic right now, right? So he's his second, third year in the NBA, and they already are making him a front runner for the MVP, despite the fact that he has not really won anything yet. You know what I'm saying? But Damian Lillard took him down, and Damian Lillard, who consistently has been Dame time and super clutch, has never really had himself in the conversation of like super champion, like MVP conversation. And we're gonna listen to Stephen A. Smith say, you know what, I might have made a mistake. But before we get into that, man, I appreciate y'all subbing to the channel, hitting that notification bell. It's always greatly appreciated. As you all know, the channel has been growing a lot lately, man. We almost to 10,000 subs, and it's just all because of y'all, so I appreciate it. All right, so I'm gonna play this here, and we're not gonna listen to this whole video. 6 minutes, we're not gonna listen to the whole thing. We're gonna listen to Stephen A. If we see some body language stuff, we'll talk about that. But really, I want y'all to hear what he's saying, right? And what he's saying is coming across super passionate, and it's definitely a compliment, right? But there's also some control and some accountability that he tips his hand to that I want y'all to catch on to.
What it says is that we owe him an apology. And the number one person on that list would be me. I am a huge fan of Damian Lillard, Dame time. I believe in it. I always have. And being that, you know, I'm NBA reporters, there's a lot of great guys out there that do a great job. My brothers, the David Aldridges of the world, the people like that, the Lasaku Smith, God rest his wonderful soul. You know, all the guys, the Sam Mitchells. I mean, you see so many different reporters, different analysts, Isaiah Thomases of the world and others. And, you know, Adrian Wojnarowski, the ultimate insider, covering the sport for us the way that he does. You know, just all of my boys, Vincent and the crew, everybody. That we all cover the NBA, Chris Haynes and others.
So you see, he is going down the list of your favorite or the most credible sports reporters, right? And he's saying that they all owe Damian Lillard an apology. He hasn't said why yet, but he's telling you that all of these people, all of your favorites, they owe him an apology. Now listen to this.
We had Marcus Spears, love all of them. We all know how great Damian Lillard is.
Know it.
We just don't talk about it enough.
We don't talk about it enough. We know he's great, but we don't talk about it enough, right? And the part of the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because in the video I just recently did, we talked about why the media does not discuss your boy LaMelo Ball, right? And we talked about how the fact that they don't discuss him is partly part of the reason why those all-star votes look like they do. And so this is what piqued my interest when he was saying this, because I just was talking about the power that the media has over controlling the narrative to the casual fan of how good you actually are, how your career is remembered at some point, right? If we all know you Dame time, we all know that you have 15 30-point plus games this season, one of 3 guys over, you know what I'm saying, whatever, one or two guys with 15 plus, and but we don't talk about it enough. And ultimately, who does that affect? Damian Lillard. You can tell looking at the all-star votes.
And we don't talk about it so much that we have taken this man for granted, and as a result, we find ourselves in a situation where it's LeBron, it's Joel Embiid, it's even Steph Curry that's in the conversation now, etc., etc. But we lose our way, and I'm going to put myself at the top of the list, blaming myself. All of those great reporters that I mentioned and those great analysts that I mentioned, I'm putting myself at the top of the list because I have this platform. I have First Take 2 hours every day, and I got Stephen A's World, and I got NBA with Stephen A, and all of this other stuff. And I haven't talked about Damian Lillard enough. Number 1 in the NBA since 2012 with clutch points.
This is something that I have been talking about for years and years. When I used to debate people over, like, even with Jello, LaMelo, and all of those folks, about where their ability stands as far as trying to get an opportunity and be in the NBA. And there was a point where your boy LaMelo was ranked in high school, like in the 20s. He was ranked as to be drafted in the second round. And what folks were saying is that the media said, you know what I'm saying, the scouts didn't even look at him. They don't even know where he at. They shaped the whole narrative. The shit that we talk about with LeVar, all of the negativity that we hear from LeVar and the stuff that was associated with the Big Baller brand came from the media. So it's like this thing that I've always said, like, you would think that a father raising 3 kids, coaching their AAU team since they was 4 years old, had them playing up, dominating, won a national championship in high school, all committed to UCLA at a certain point, second pick in the draft, third pick in the draft, created his own basketball league for his players, for his kids to play in, like, opportunities, traveled around the world with them as they made these moves. You would think that that's a story to rejoice about, but somehow it becomes a negative situation, right? Somehow it things get looked at on the negative side. And I just started this, man. Let me try to find something. I'm gonna pull it up a little bit later. But so that's the power of the media, and I'll let him continue.
Clutch points. Last 5 seconds of the game. Don't get me started with the last 5 minutes. Don't get me started with Dame time. Don't get me started with him averaging 29 and how he's been doing that for the last 3, 4, 5 years. That right? And he's got Portland 5th in the West, and there's no CJ McCollum who's missed game. No Nurse, no Jurkic. It doesn't matter. I don't even know who the hell. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. This brother, Damian Lillard, tell me, and it's a rhetorical question, but I challenge anybody out there to tell me who strikes more fear in you when crunch time arrives than the ball being in his hands. I call Steph Curry the greatest shooter God ever created. Let me tell you something. Steph Curry ain't big Damian Lillard when it comes crunch time. When it comes down to clutch points. This brother is just on another level. And on behalf of all the great NBA reporters, all the great aficionados, all the great analysts, on behalf of everyone, I will put myself at the top of the list. I apologize. It's my fault. Because this brother, Damian Lillard, has been ignored for far too long. He is the real deal. And he does it time and time and time again, and we don't talk about him enough. Well, it's going to stop today. He's on that damn MVP list.
That's the part I want to get to.
On that MVP list right now. And
Stephen A. Smith has made a call to the media that Damian Lillard, as of today, is on the MVP list. Now, what I want you to do is, as of today, start watching how much you see Damian Lillard conversations come up. Start watching how much folks just so happen to start praising Big Dame time, even though we seen him knock out the Rockets. We seen him do what he did to OKC. He been doing it for years, and all of a sudden today, Stephen A. Smith has declared that Dame Lillard is on that MVP list. Now, what I ask you to do is go compare Luka Doncic, who was the front runner for the MVP this season, to Dame Lillard's stats. Go compare the Paul George to Dame Lillard's stats. All of these guys who have been in that conversation over time, and now tell me why today all of a sudden Dame Lillard didn't do nothing in that game. 34 points, 12 for 26 from the field, 3 rebounds, 11. He didn't do nothing that we ain't never seen him do. Clutch time shots. He didn't. We've seen all of that from Dame Lillard, but somehow, as of today, the media has decided, you know what? We care. So when I come on here, man, and I be talking to y'all about my dog LaMelo, right? We gotta tie it back about how the opportunities that and the way that we see some of the stuff and that All-Star and all of this stuff, and folks be like, "But he's just a rookie." It matters. It matters when folks don't talk about it. It matters when the dude become the youngest player ever in NBA history to get a triple-double and the folks go quiet. It matters when the first game of the season my dog scores 0 points and every channel is asking that question, damn, is he a bust? It matters when he gets drafted and folks ask the question, did Michael Jordan make the right decision? The negative spin always matters, and we got to pay attention to it. It's your main man, AB the Hero. We finna get up out of here. I appreciate y'all coming through and checking me out today.
No, not peace. +1, triple B's. We out.